To begin, we'll grab the main color, the color that you want to use for the hat, and we'll make a magic circle. We'll start by chaining 2. This chain does not count as a stitch, it's just a turning chain. And after chaining 2, we'll start by doing 12 double crochets in the circle. So that's 1 double crochet, and then don't forget to put a stitch marker at the beginning of every double crochet, just because it's easier to put a stitch marker when working with thick yarn like that. And then this is 2 double crochets. And remember, the chain doesn't count. 3. So just keep going, make 12 double crochets total in the circle, and I'll meet you back once we have 12 double crochets. Once we have 12 double crochets, pull at the short tail in the circle to close, and then remove the stitch marker and make a slip stitch at the first double crochet that we made to close the circle. And then for round 2, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do double crochet increases in each stitch. So in that same stitch where we chained 2, put 2 double crochets, and don't forget to put a stitch marker on the first double crochet. Remember, chain 2 doesn't count as a double crochet, so make sure you put 2 double crochets in that stitch. So now we have 2, and then 3 and 4. So 2 stitches in each stitch all around until we have 24 stitches. Okay, so I'm doing my last 2 double crochets here, and they're in the same stitch, 23 and 24. Once you have 24 stitches, you can remove the slip marker, the stitch marker, and then just do a slip stitch in that first double crochet to complete the round. We'll start round 3 by chaining 2. And then in the same stitch, we're going to do just 1 double crochet, and then make sure you put the stitch marker. So for this round, we're going to do 1 double crochet and then an increase. So in this second stitch, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So it's 1 double crochet by itself, and then an increase. So 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. And then you're going to keep going for this round. Just 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet until we reach 36 stitches. And then after you complete this round and you have 36 stitches, make sure that that portion of the hat fits the top of your dog head up until the ears. And if your dog is smaller, you can use a smaller hook size, a smaller yarn size. It's not a big deal. Just make sure that that portion, specifically the 36 stitches total, fit the top of your dog's head. I have a medium-sized dog, but she has a smaller head. So 36 stitches total is perfect for me. Once we have 36 stitches completed, we will slip stitch in that first double crochet. So round 4 is where we'll make the ear holes. For this round, we'll start with chaining 2. And then immediately after we chain 2 in that same space, we will do a double crochet. And then make sure you mark that with a stitch marker. And then we will do 7 double crochet. So we already did 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So the round started with 7 double crochets. So you should have 7. And then immediately start chaining 10. That would be the ear holes. So just chain 10. So after chaining 10, we will skip 4 stitches. So yarn over and then skip 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the 5th stitch, we'll make a double crochet. So skip 4. In the 5th stitch, make a double crochet. So yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's a double crochet. And then we will do 13 more. So 14 double crochets after the chain. We did 1, and then we're doing 2, and then 3, and so on. So just do 14 double crochets here. So here I have 14 double crochets completed, and then we'll start chaining 10 again. So that's the other ear. So do 10 chains here. And then we'll do the same thing. We skip 4, and in the 5th stitch, we'll do a double crochet. So that's 1, and then we have 6 more stitches left, and you'll put a double crochet in each. So after the chain, we do 7 double crochets total. So we skip 4, and in the 5th stitch is a double crochet, and then 6 more. And then by the end of this round, we should have 48 total stitches. So once this round is completed, we can remove the stitch marker and then slip stitch in the first double crochet. And for round 5, we'll start by chaining 2, and then we'll just do a double crochet in each stitch. So just a regular double crochet in each stitch, including the chains. So total by the end of this round, we should have 48 stitches, a double crochet in each stitch. So just make sure you count to make sure you have the correct number of stitches here. So once you complete those first 7 double crochets, we will start double crocheting in that chain, and then the chain is a bit hard to double crochet through, so just do 10 within that chain, because remember we chained 10. And so for me, I just insert the hook through the middle of each chain and do my best to get a double crochet in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. This part goes under the ear, but at the end of the round, just make sure you have 48 stitches. So you can kind of see me struggling here trying to find the chain to put the double crochet here, but that's okay. As long as there are 10 within that chain, it should be fine. We'll still end up with 48 stitches at the end. So complete this round, 1 double crochet in each stitch, and I will see you at the end of the round. Okay, so I completed 48 stitches, and now just slip stitch in the first double crochet. And this round is done. Now we are at the last round, round 6, and for this one we will just be doing increases in each stitch. So chain 2, and in that same space do 2 double crochets, and then 2 double crochets in each stitch all around. And so at the end of the round you should have 96 stitches total. So 2 double crochets in each stitch all around. So keep going here, do 2 double crochets in each stitch all around, and then once we have 96 stitches, the round should be completed. So just keep going and I will meet you back at the end of the round. So here I'm doing the last one stitch. I'm doing 2 stitches here, 95 and 96. And then once that's completed, we will just slip stitch at the first double crochet and the hat portion will be completed. So now just pull the yarn and you can cut it. And then flip the hat to the wrong side and then get a darning needle. You can use any darning needle. I just like to use this one because it's easier to open, especially with that thick yarn. And just put the tail ends through and then move it to the back of the hat and weave in the ends. After the ends are weaved in, we can start on the stem. So for the stem, just get any yarn. I'm just using this cotton green yarn and then make a magic circle. And then immediately just start doing 8 double crochets in the magic circle. And then you can put a slip marker or stitch marker on that first stitch, just so you know where the round started. So just keep going here, make 8 double crochets in the magic circle. Have 8 double crochets. You can close the circle but do not slip stitch. We're immediately going to start the next round, and the next round is also going to be just 8 double crochets. So a double crochet on top of each double crochet from the previous round. Just always remember to mark with a stitch marker the first stitch of each round because it can get confusing. But this part doesn't have to be perfect, it's just the stem. You just want something green on top of the hat to make it look like a pumpkin. And so for me, I'm just doing 8 double crochets all around, no slip stitches for multiple rounds. So I didn't want it to be too long, so I only did 4 rows in total. You can do as many rows as you want. And then once you reach the desired height that you want, make sure you slip stitch in the first stitch, and then that should give you kind of like an oval shape, and then leave a long tail end because we will push that through the hat. So now just get your darning needle and then pick up one of the tail ends. I'm just picking up the one from the middle here, and then push it through your darning needle and then push it through the hat. So we're working from the right side and we're pushing the tail end to the wrong side. Do that on both tail ends. So make sure you do the same thing on the other end. And then once you do that, flip it to the wrong side and then tie 2 to 3 knots. So just tie the 2 tail ends together to secure the hat, or to secure the stem on top of the hat. And then once you do that, you can just weave in the ends. And then after you weave in the ends, you're done. Your puppy can wear it. Thank you so much for watching.